I'm going to make a 4x4 hooped clover for March's coming up, March St. Patty's Day. I'll start with a border and do a placement stitch, change it into a running stitch, and then I'll make it a little darker so we can see it. Since placement stitches are typically red, I'll change that too. Now it's red. I want to make a tack down stitch, so I'll copy that and paste it in place, change it to black so we can see it, and I think I'll make it a little bit smaller so it's not riding on top of the other one. There, now I've got my red placement stitch and my border black dots. Next one I want to do is go to Objects, and I want to make another layer, so I'm going to add a clover. I got my layer built up. There's my clover right there. Grab my drawing tool. I'm going to start a stem down here, come to the middle, come outwards, make a kind of heart shape, go back to the middle, another heart leaf, back to the middle, another heart leaf, another heart leaf, and a stem. Now to give it some character, I'm going to take my nodes and give it a circular pattern. Let's see what it did. Oh, that's better anyway. I'm going to make these curve. I'm going to hold down Shift and make these curves all around the edge so they could make heart shapes. Oh, that's cute. And I think I'll curve this one too. I'll just grab hold of the line and give it a nice curve. That's a pretty good one. Let's pull this in a little bit. I don't want them overlapping, so let's move this one just a little bit. You get too much overlapping on that edge and that needle wants to break. That looks pretty good. Now I'll turn it into a running stitch so we can have a placement. I'll give it a dot to dot, make it darker, and then I'll change it to red. Let's see, I'll give it all the way red. I like a dark one. And then I want to go back to Objects and grab my path and copy it so that we can make a tack down stitch. Edit, put it right on top of it, and there it shows up right here. I want to take that, change it to black stitching so it stops, change the stroke style to a 2 so we can see it underneath the placement stitch. Press enter. There's our top. Now this file is ready for the satin stitch. So let's add a satin layer. So here's my add layer button. I'm going to write satin. This always builds from the bottom up, so it'll flow Okay, my satin stitch will include one of these layers. We'll just grab it and copy it. I want to place it in the satin layer and paste it in the same spot. So paste in place. There it goes. Now this one's going to be a satin stitch, so I need to do the straight line. And I think I'll want it all the way up to 100. There we go. And push enter. Yeah. And since the last one was black, I think I'll make this one green so the machine knows to stop and let you change colors. That's pretty good. Don't care for this middle a little bit. Much better. Border. So we'll add the satin stitch for the border. Go back to objects, and I'm going to add a layer, and I'm going to put satin border. And copy my path from my border so it'll be the same size. Edit, copy. I want to put it into the satin border area. Edit, paste in place so it will paste right on top of the last one. Take it, my satin border, change the stroke style to, I might as well use the dark green again. And I want it to be a straight line. And I want it to be 102. We'll see how that works. And enter. That's pretty good. Now let's see if it's going to work. I'll go up to extensions, ink stitch, param, and it will build the files and show you exactly how it's going to stitch out. A little window over here will come up to show the changes that you can make in the stitch size, and then the preview window for the thing comes up. You can see exactly how it's going to stitch out. You can run it backwards and see if it's messing up at any time. So I want it to have a border which is red, a border which is black, and then we'll start my placement stitch for the clover, and then we'll do the tack down stitch for the clover, and then it will do the zigzag satin stitch all the way around, and then the border stitch all the way around. I'm missing one. I need to put a backing on this, so I'm going to add a tack down stitch before I do the border stitch. So I'm going to get out of here and add a tack down stitch in my border. So I go back to objects and my satin border needs a tack down stitch, so I'm going to go grab it from before, copy it, go back into my satin border area and paste it right on top. I'm going to move it before the satin stitch, and I think I'm going to change. I wonder if that satin stitch, I'm going to make it go away so I can see it. Oops, that didn't work. If I make this one, yeah. So this one is my tack down. Okay. I'm just closing the eyes on that. So this is my tack down. It's red. So I want to change the color on that one to a green. I'm not sure how to make it green. Oh, I know I want green up high. There. That's good. So it's still going to stop between the border and the other one. So let's run it again. I'll have to go back to my objects and turn the eyeballs back on so I can see what I'm doing. And then I want to run that image again. Extension, params. This one right here, I can change the satin stitches to manual, repeat it 3 or 4 times. A bean stitch if you want to, which is pretty much a running stitch. The stitch length and the zigzag peak, so I can squeeze them together or pull them apart. And let's see how this one runs. So puts the border on, puts the clover on, stitches around it, stops right here and puts a border on it again. That's a straight border, yes. That should work fine. And then puts a zigzag on. That looks good. I can use that one to run it.